Hello, Reformers, and welcome back to Dwarven Adventures and things. So yeah, if you're looking for good deals on games, there's actually weekly sales going on all the time on g2a.com. You never know, you might find some really nice bargains there. Now, when we left off, we had just arrived at Karak-Hern, which is a dwarven town. I managed to sell a couple of things there, as you can see. We have some food, and yes, there's actually a dwarf skin covered shield. I didn't even realize that this was a dwarf skin covered shield, but Yarg he's just like that. He's just kind of morbid, he's kind of dark, and he's going to be one of those guys sitting in the corner brooding. And then he's going to be like, oh yes, I'm going to make skin shields out of all of you. And all of that. However, we currently have a threat to that particular goal, making more skin shields out of our brethren, by these Skaven, who are after our cheese right now. Yes, that's not particularly good. But we do have 10 gold. We only have 10 gold. And that is not good. Now, I know that a couple of you have mentioned trading in this game, and I know that some of you said, oh yes, but trading is an incredibly good way to get money. And yeah, that's exactly, yeah, of course it is. I didn't say it wasn't, but also I was not comparing trading with fighting a band of goblins. I don't actually know what anyone was thinking there. Must be a little bit delusional, perhaps. Maybe had a little bit of the Joker's nerve toxin or Scarecrow's fear gas or something along those lines. Maybe, yes, maybe the Grey Man has to step in here. Yes, more DC references, shall we? Okay, well, let us attack the Skaven Underworld Patrol. I was actually trying to get over to Kazid Somjek, which is our nearby village, and try to recruit a couple more units from there, but yes, well, I guess they're just going to intercept us. This is actually pretty nice, though, because we will be able to get a good amount of money from them, maybe some nice loot, but as you can see, I'm still injured. I probably should have restored my HP a little bit more at the town. Maybe we're going to have to just try and be a little bit more sort of focusing on avoidance rather than, well, rather than just being a very boisterous and brave dwarf. Yes, okay, this is going to be... this is not good. They actually... That's exactly what I thought. Yes, this is not good. They actually have ranged units. Master Gunner, in actual fact. Okay, well, there it is. That is a very easy... very easy for us to just basically sit back now, which is kind of sad. I really would have liked to have participated in this, because we can level up pretty fast fighting these high-level units, at least some of them. The Master Gunners, obviously, would be really nice. Look at all the smoke, though. The smoke is everywhere. I would have expected a Poisoned Wind Globadier to actually be on the enemy side because of these green sort of gas clouds. I actually thought that that was due to a Poisoned Wind Globadier, but apparently there are none in the fight itself, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. But we have eliminated everyone here, and there's only one enemy over in the distance. And apparently he's attempting to take on some Slayers. Not a good idea. The Slayers, in my opinion, are the best infantry the Dwarves have if you are looking for offense. If you're looking for defense, then obviously Iron Breakers are a lot better because they do have shields. I do know this. Do bear that in mind. I do know this. I know that the Slayers don't have shields and they have light armor and things like that, but they have a huge HP pool, which is hopefully going to, well, counterbalance some of that issue. So, yes, unfortunately we don't have enough space for this skirmisher, but I think the clan rat is still just as good to take. So, yes, all of this terrible loot, yes. Well, there we are, 263 gold. Not great, I gotta say, not great, but it will give me an opportunity to level up at least one of our high-tier units, maybe get an engineer. One of our first engineers, in actual fact. So, yes, there we go. We can get one of those. We can actually get a Master Thunderer as well. Not entirely sure what a Master Thunderer's differences are, though. So, let's take a look at the Dwarf Engineer. It's using a Dwarf hand cannon and has a good amount of HP. And what about the Master Thunderer? That is using a Dwarven musket. Aha. Okay, so that's the difference. They have about the same HP levels. Their proficiencies, the Master Thunderer's proficiencies are a lot better. They don't have shields, as far as I'm aware. And these guys do. So I would expect the Engineers to be the better unit. For the most part. So we're just going to be getting as many of those as we can. 2. Yes, only 2. And we're going to be heading on to this castle here. I still do not have enough money, so this is going to be rather amusing. So, yeah. Now, this is the one problem we are having right here. The only town nearby that is friendly is Karak-Hern, and everything else is aggressive as hell, because we have the Goblins down here, we have the Orcs right by the side of us, and then we have the Skaven down to the left side, so that is very much not good, is it? No. And speaking of problems, we need to pay our units, don't we? Yes, we do. Okay, so this is where we are going to venture into Orcish territory, maybe Goblin territory as well, and we're going to try maybe a little bit of a raid on a village. If we can actually succeed doing that, then that would make things a huge amount easier. But apparently they are not wanting us to do anything like that. So, yeah, as you can see, those guys are... Oh, wow. Okay. Well, better you than me, patrol. I'm terribly sorry. Oh, my. Not very nice of me, is it? No. But I guess that's just how it goes. Okay, so we're going to head on over to the Goblins here. Ah, we have a Goblin Warband here. This is actually pretty good. We might be... that's the thing. I don't think I will be able to take these guys on. I think we probably have to move a little bit back here, take on more Skaven, and level them up. And yeah, because these Goblin Warbands, they have 52 units. I don't think 52... is enough to actually kill us, but it is enough to remove a huge amount of our really, really good units. So it's kind of bad. It's kind of bad, isn't it? So I would very much like to keep our army intact for the most part. So I'm going to try and find another Skaven band, and we'll see if we can make a little bit more cash in the meantime. Alright, so I did a little bit of trading. I went from Karak-Hern back to one of our towns, and I traded around with Kislev a little bit, and I gained about 800 to 1,000 coins, and that's perfectly fine. Didn't really do too much there, but it did give me enough money to be able to, well, basically advance all of our units in our army, which is great. And then I decided to recruit a couple new ones. And then, as I was recruiting and actually heading back to Skaven territory, we came across Graysir Kroikul, and he is currently really down on his luck right now. He has a total of only 23 units able to fight. Not entirely sure what kind of units, but hopefully they're not going to be units that will actually be able to slaughter us. That's probably going to be the case, but we're going to find out anyway. Now, we do have these mercenary halfling vigilante guards and halfling scouts. Hopefully they're going to prove themselves to be very useful here, or at least, well, that's the thing. Against the ninjas, the halflings were very, very good, at least, so hopefully we're going to see them do some pretty good work here as well. Of course, they just have bows. I'm not entirely sure how good bows are in the grand scheme of things if they're not being wielded by elves, of course, because we do have dwarven engineers and things like that. So, okay, let's tell everyone to charge, apart from the archers, and there's actually quite a few of them. Actually, yes, we have quite a few archers in actual fact. Now, do bear in mind, this is basically vassal level strength right here. These enemies are vassal level strength, so I am very, very worried about... Ah! No! No! Oh no, that's an Eshin assassin right there. Oh, I'm really surprised. I am really surprised that we even survived here. Oh no, no, he's still alive. He's still alive. Those Eshin assassins are just literally ganging up on our forces here. Oh. Yes. That's exactly what happens, isn't it? A Scryer Jazael. Oh, yes. 66 damage. And people wonder why we need Iron Flesh. Really? Ah, yes. I'm rolling my eyes back into my head, and I'm thinking to myself, if we had a little bit more Iron Flesh, then that wouldn't have happened. We would have probably died anyway, because the Eshin assassins are insane. But just something to think about. Getting shot for 66 damage, that's a pretty reasonable amount of HP. I personally feel like having... I don't know, about 74, 75 HP is actually a really good number to have, because even though it's a little bit on the high side, it's a lot better to have more HP than less, no? Well, that's just my thinking on it, but let's take a look here. Okay, so we lost 5 units, Actually, nothing that bad. We lost 2 Dwarf clan warriors, but otherwise, yeah, otherwise we won very, very nicely indeed. He managed to escape, which is so sad, so sad. But we do have the opportunity to rescue some Shadow Lords and various other Wood Elf things. You know the only problem with this? Oh, wow, Ratogre. That is going to sell for a huge amount of money. Yeah, the only problem with this is that I don't really want to have Wood Elves in my party. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't really want to have Wood Elves in my party because they're Wood Elves. And, well, Dwarves and Wood Elves, do they really get on? I don't really know, but... Well, for the most part, I'm gonna take these War Dancers, thank you very much. Okay, there we go. That sounds good to me. There we are. Okay, so... Yeah, that is indeed the problem. But look at that, 533 gold. That is a pretty nice reward for fighting, just for fighting right there. Don't get me wrong, trading is a lot better in this game than fighting is, but I was just mentioning it as a way to say, hey, we gained 500 coins from that battle. That's pretty good, right? So yeah, just clearing that up so that you can clearly understand what I'm saying. But anyway... We are going to now head on to Karak Hern and sell the few things we have. I'm actually kind of interested to see what the Ratogre sells for. And yes, thank you very much. One of you actually did mention in the comments and reminded me, oh, Joseph is here. Oh, I don't think I have enough money to recruit him. But yes, one of you reminded me that I can actually sell prisoners at the Tavern Keeper. And we can sell a Ratogre for 408, which is actually pretty nice. Not bad. Now, what I would love to do is be able to sell the units that we have, the Wood Elf units, sell those back to the Wood Elves or something along those lines, and then get Joseph from that, because how much is he? I am the Master Brewer, yes. My brewery is near Karak Hern, although it has only recently been rebuilt. It was destroyed and all my workers killed a while ago by an army of goblin raiders. I vowed vengeance and I took my war party out to get revenge for this gravest of crimes. We went out and spilt blood, but only I returned. So much death that not even the execution of justice can placate the fury inside of me. I cannot bear to go back to my brewery at the moment as the pain is still too near. My new workers are doing a fine job, though, and my brew is as good as ever. I will rise against the goblins again. My rangers are currently training in the town tournaments. What a force they will be. Maybe you can release your fury. How much do you have? Oh, no. Was he actually going to join us for free? If he actually joins us for free, then that's amazing. But if he doesn't, and I need money, then that is going to be super sad. So let's just see. 3,000! 3,000. Okay, well, unfortunately, due to Joseph declining us, well, technically not declining us twice, we didn't have enough space in our party, and he didn't tell me how much he wanted before that time, and he needs 3,000, so unfortunately we don't have that amount. So, in other words, we're going to have to leave him here because, yeah, we don't have that, and he's declined us for a second time. So he's saying, oh, we'll meet again in our travels some other time. So yes, that's great. But anyway, that will be it for this episode. We're going to be heading on over to Goblin territory soon because I think our army is pretty strong right now. I think we can... I'm going to recruit a couple more dwarves, of course. Going to try and phase out the wood elves as I can and then just level those up and so on. And we'll see where we go from there. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.